Everyone knows that feeling, wanting to experience more stories, but struggling to find the time. That's where Audible changes everything. With over 1 million audiobooks and Audible originals, there's a story waiting to spark anyone's imagination. Take The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, the gripping psychological thriller that's keeping listeners on the edge of their seats. Imagine unraveling its mysteries during your morning commute, or losing yourself in its twists and turns while doing household chores. That's the magic of Audible. It transforms daily routines into opportunities for thrilling discoveries. The best part? Members get access to thousands of included titles, with new content added regularly. From bestsellers to hidden gems, every genre imaginable is at their fingertips. And with one easy-to-use app, switching between favorites or discovering new passions has never been simpler. There's more to imagine when you listen. Start a free 30-day Audible trial and get your first audiobook free at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
Don't ask me to talk. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk. Your hosts are me, Stacy Heller.
And me, Eric Ryder. It's your podcast pals.
Your
back
podcast
at it again.
Pals. And I'm back in the studio.
Yeah.
The sound is so much better when I'm back in the studio.
Right? And you're not going to buffer as much?
No. And
So
I don't
that'll be
have to
good.
worry about all of my lakeside neighbors using their Wi-Fi at an inconvenient time and yelling at them saying,
Darn
hey,
neighbors.
neighbors, get off the Wi-Fi. Yeah. So anyway, hey, we are here to talk about random holidays, anecdotes, topics, ideas, really whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, and typically, and I say typically, but every time we do this. So it is typical, but, that also implies like there's a chance of it not happening.
It could not happen.
So far, it has always happened. We randomly pick a topic to discuss in the second half of the show. And today we are talking about the topic of worst movies. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we ever clarified whether that was the worst movie we've ever seen or worst movie of all time. I think we'll probably have to figure that out in the break right before the show.
40 minutes or so, or 35 minutes or something to figure that out. But you know what? We're really good at this whole improv thing.
That's right.
So, yeah. You can find, if you enjoy what you're listening to, you can find past episodes of this show wherever you listen to your podcast. And we would so appreciate it if you would follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Don't Ask Me to Talk. We would also love it if you texted or left us a voicemail. You can do that at 475-999-2726. You can also email us if you want to. And the email address is asking@don'taskmetotalk.com.
Yes.
I felt the need to sing .com. Yeah.
Now you're making me think of the Yahoo commercials as well. Yes.
Right.
Right.
Because again, we pull random threads and see where they take us.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
We're both of a certain age as well.
Right. Totally. 100%. So,
although it sounds like it's very modern to be talking about a website or whatever, but when that website had its peak in the 90s, maybe it's not so cutting edge.
Like when they have those BuzzFeed articles that you're really old if you recall this.
Right.
I'm like, I am like, yep. And that's depressing. And also, it makes me sad for the generations that have come after that don't know about the jelly jars that doubled as a juice glass. Do you remember those?
Yes, I do. In fact, I worked at a restaurant that used those exclusively for their cups.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were classic. We didn't ever get those because A, my mom wasn't fun, and B, I think it probably cost a little bit more. But my grandmother would buy them. And so when I would go visit her.
Because she was probably making jam.
She was totally
making jamming out.
She was jamming out. And so she would get them. So when I would visit her, I got to drink out of those.
Okay.
Those were the good old days.
Right. And we're one of the generations that was raised and were adults before social media started.
Right.
So
what is our generation called, by the way? We're not boomers.
We're Gen X, aren't we?
Are we?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
For some reason, that confuses me. Because I'm old. I was talking with Stacy and Dave. Now, I've mentioned Stacy and Dave before.
Who are also probably Gen X.
Yep. And they used to do a radio show with Eric, actually. It's how I met Eric originally. And we were talking about you, and they were shocked that you're even remotely close in age to us. And
that's why my ears were burning.
yes. And I was like, I flat out had to ask him, and he had work done because he looks so young.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Although, yeah, I definitely don't feel young when I see pictures of myself lately. It's
Well,
like, ooh.
This is why I don't
it's all catching up to me.
My thing is, I feel good about the way I look when I look at a mirror because
Sure.
I'm used to seeing it. But then I look at a picture
Yep.
and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, it's like I used to feel like, oh, I've got that painting in my attic that's taking the dings for me. But now it's like every picture is that picture of that painting.
Yeah.
It's come out of the attic.
Right. And I'm like, oh, I should probably do something about what I see in that picture. And then I'm like, nope, I'm depressed. I'm going to go eat a cookie.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah. So anyway, but hey, let's talk about something else.
Well, we were talking about social media for a second, and I think I should mention that the great controversy
Oh my gosh.
on Facebook.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Bigger than the election.
Yeah, of course, yes. Because a couple episodes ago, it was National Cheesecake Day.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about cheesecake, and I posited the fact that cheesecake is really cake in name only.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a pie in the
Wrong.
fact that no, not wrong. It's more like a pie in the fact that you make it with a crust, which cakes don't have crusts.
Mm.
And it's definitely not a cake. And when sharing the episode where I talked about this, I said, well, can we all agree that cheesecake is not cake? And my friends backed me up and said, yeah, it's a pie.
And my friends,
which is what I said. And your friends backed you up and
me.
said it's a cake.
One
even though
of my friends
they're
said
completely wrong.
pie.
I'm
I'm telling the
right.
truth. But Facebook, who did Facebook back up?
Well, Facebook said that it looks like I'm trying to. They removed my post, and then they told me why. They said this goes against our community standards on cybersecurity. And it says because it looks like you tried to gather sensitive information from others. So I guess,
It's a sensitive subject.
it is a sensitive subject because clearly Stacy was getting heated on this. So I'm assuming you're the one that reported me.
I didn't. However, I don't know. I have friends.
Well, there you go. They could have reported that I was trying to gather the sensitive information of whether you think cheesecake is more of a cake or more of a pie, or as it's online with culinary classifications, more of a tort, really.
I would agree with that one.
Sure. So, but it like I said, it's cake in name only. So this huge controversy has come down, and I got to be very careful because the algorithm on Facebook it may ban me if I try to ask more in-depth questions like that of our listeners. So, we'd love it if you connected with us directly and told us your opinions on
Yeah.
stuff, so I don't have to run the risk of getting booted from Facebook for that sensitive data mining.
100%. And I will absolutely mine our listeners for confirmation that a cheesecake is in fact a cheesecake. And
In name only.
you can back me up by emailing me at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com, or again by leaving a text or a voicemail at 475-999-2726.
And I was actually kind of a little bit worried because you made some kind of snotty comments on that thread that made me think like, oh, Stacy's getting a little heated about this, And for me, it was just like an observation, like, oh, okay. But like this sounded like it just kind of felt like, oh, maybe Stacy's related to cheesecake, and like I'm actually
that's where I got my
offending her because she feels like she's got to stand up for her cousin, but which I meant no offense. So just so you know, and let me apologize if you are in fact related to cheesecake.
To my
and
tia
this is why you were upset about this.
And my cousin Cheesecake.
But yeah. So anyway.
Okay.
We'll move on from this shocking controversy that the meta people don't want you to know about. But, if you listen to the podcast, you're going to hear it here first. And Meta can't do a damn thing to stop me.
No. And we are nothing if not transparent here.
That's right.
It doesn't occur to me, at least, to have a filter. Yeah. So there's that. Any other good things that have happened to you recently? Because that feels good to me.
Yeah, well, a good thing that happened was I took a little break and went down to one of my fave places on the coast of Washington. Last week we were talking about, or the week before actually, I think the episode that we were talking about cheesecake.
Yes.
We were talking about our travel destinations we want to get to. Well, I decided to go for one of yours, which you haven't been to, which was the Washington coast. So I went to the coast, had a great time. One of my favorite spots. It's already jam-packed, so I'm not going to blow it up anymore by saying it. Although if you DM us, I can tell you.
100%.
So went there, had a great time. Saw some interesting wildlife.
Like the people?
Yeah, people and some bugs and some interesting stuff. So had a really good time. Hung out on the beach, got a little bit more sun than I probably should have.
Yeah, you did age like 10 years in one vacation.
Definitely feels like it.
Your skin's all leathery now.
But yeah, it was a good time and nice to have a little break. But a couple things went slightly haywire in that I have done this before, but not with anything that I desperately needed.
Yeah.
I left when we were packing up my laptop in the room.
Wait,
and I circled
your computer? At the hotel room?
Yeah, when we checked out. And I get home and I realize, oh,
man.
I left my laptop.
I left mine once in airport security.
Oh, wow.
Going through TSA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
not fun.
Had the hotel security.
They found it. I called them and they're going to hold on to it. But this means I'm going back to the coast this coming weekend.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no places to stay. So this is going to be more of a whirlwind one day kind of thing, it looks like.
Well, you could sleep in the car and just bring Gertie as a passenger so you can go in the carpool lane.
Right. Well, there's no carpool lane on the way to the coast.
So,
all
right. I don't know because I've never been.
Not going to benefit me much, but yeah. Have you ever done that? You ever leave something kind of important behind in the hotel room?
Yes. But it was Annie's binky. Annie being my oldest daughter. And she was a total pacifier person.
Mm-hmm.
And I left her binky once, and it was not good. She was not ready for the binky fairy to come yet. But I can't think of anything because I'm totally so used to being the mom of 4 kids and 5 if we include my husband, that I'm pretty militant about checking everything. Which you are too, so that's impressive that you were having fun.
I outsmarted myself because I thought, I don't want to leave this open or in plain view in case
so you put it
someone
in the drawer.
comes in. So I kind of hid it between the bed and the tabletop. And if I hadn't done that, I would have easily have seen it when I circled and made sure everything was taken. And so once again, I
read a hack once.
No one to blame but myself.
That apparently travel flight attendants do this. They purposefully put one of their shoes in like the hotel room safe so that they remember to grab like whatever is in the safe or whatever it is. So it's like a trick to be like, remember to get, whatever it is.
Right.
So
that's a good idea.
Yeah. If your laptop's the size of a safe.
Unless you want to wear your shoes. Well,
right. And then every time you're like, where's that second shoe?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, as I said, like the TSA thing, like I flew all the way home before I realized that I didn't have my computer. And I was like, holy cow. So had to call up the airport, and my son lived pretty close to the San Jose airport. So he went over and he was able to pick it up. But I was like, oh, it's gone for sure.
Right.
But it wasn't. And I made friends with the nice lost and found lady. That makes a difference. Like, you make friends with people and they want to help you. So you were nice to the security people because they found it.
Yeah, I try to be nice to everybody.
Well, I mean, yes. But instead of, being that person.
Right. Yeah, I try not to be the Karen, if you will.
Right. It makes a difference.
Yeah, but... well,
that's fun, though.
Now we get a bonus day at the beach.
Yeah, right? Well, you could sleep in your car. Nobody would mind. That wouldn't be creepy at all.
Right.
So, yeah.
So double, triple, quadruple check when you check out. I've done this once before where I just completely screwed myself by leaving something behind that I really wanted. I flew from Edinburgh to Paris on a vacation, and I left behind two of my favorite jackets by accident in the hotel room in Edinburgh. And I messaged the hotel, and they never got back to me. So
actually, now that you say
never got those jackets back.
That story reminds me. I knew there was something. So a couple of years ago, post-COVID, I was like going through a lot. I had a lot going on between work, life, whatever. And my husband was like, you know what? You need to take a staycation, but not at home. Because I don't know about listeners out there. I don't know about you, Eric. Like when you're a homeowner and you share your space with a significant other or kids or whomever it is, they don't mean to, but like everything is like represents a chore or something that you have to do. So Pete was like, go stay at a hotel in Issaquah where you live. Spend a night, spend 2 nights, get caught up, get some sleep. Don't be bothered by everyone. I got it.
Yeah, good idea.
Right? It was great. So I did that. I left a jacket, a dress, and like my favorite shoes in the closet.
A whole outfit.
A whole outfit. Because I thought, well, maybe I'll take myself out to dinner, whatever. No, I totally like ate cheese doodles and drank Diet Coke in my room. And so never thought about them again. And then called up and they're like, nope, we don't have anything. Went by, nope, we don't have anything. Somebody totally is rocking a really great outfit. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
It was a bummer because I was like, oh, these are good shoes. And actually it was 2 pairs of shoes, same shoe, 2 different colors.
The cleaning lady just happened to be your size.
Yep. Yeah. So that was kind of a bummer. But anyway.
Yeah. So you got to triple, quadruple check.
Yeah.
When you leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let my mistakes be a lesson for everybody.
Look at you. You're such a giver. You're such a giver. Do we need to take a break?
We do need to take a break, but you know what? We're going to talk about those ridiculous high holidays when we get back.
I'm excited. Keep listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm not famous or connected or an influencer. I'm Stacy Heller of Stacy Connects, and I love to talk with strangers, friends, and family. So I started a podcast about making connections through conversation, asking questions instead of making assumptions, and addressing the elephant in any room. I also often go on tangents that beg the question, where is she going with this? Stacy Connects is meant to be enlightening and entertaining, or as I like to call it, edutainment. Listen, enjoy, and subscribe to Stacy Connects wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk, your podcast pals. Me, Eric Ryder.
And me,
you.
Stacy Heller.
That's right, the cousin of cheesecake.
Totally. I'm telling you, it's how it takes a lot to look the way that I do. And cheesecake is one of the reasons why. Like, cheesecake is my trainer.
Hey, that sounds pretty good to me.
Right? I mean, a great foundation, kind of thick thighs.
If that's the result you're looking for, then that is the workout that you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looking at so we always talk about these month-long observations, right?
Yes.
And, there's some really great ones that are like, this is awesome. Like, it's important to know about, like, National Breastfeeding Month. If you're an ardent fan of breastfeeding, great.
Right.
But then there's things like, and this one made me think of you, Admit You're Happy Month.
Okay.
It's like, how reluctant do you have to be in being happy? So it's like, admit you're happy, damn it. That seems crazy. But I was like, maybe the guy who's been like 65 since he was 5
Right.
would
Grumpy
appreciate
people.
it. Right. Admit you're happy, Eric. You're so happy.
I'm trying to admit it.
Um,
Meanwhile, I'm watching the Grumpy Guide too, which is a show that I found on YouTube that was on the BBC like 10 years ago, apparently, where it's just like cranks talking about, like, you remember those shows, I Love the 80s or whatever, like that.
Yes.
It's just like that, but they just list everything that was bad that happened in the 80s. It's kind of like I hate the 80s, essentially. And I was like, oh, this sounds like it's for me. And sure enough, I enjoyed it.
You know what? That is chef's kiss for you.
Peak entertainment.
Peak
found now.
entertainment for you. That is so good.
And how can you be happy if you're dealing with frizz? It's a constant struggle that many of us people that suffer from frizz are dealing with. And that's why we need National Anti-Frizz Month.
I knew you would
August
appreciate it.
Yes.
And, there's a trend going on TikTok where it's like, the internet's trying to tell me that I'm a curly hair girl, but I'm not. Oh my gosh. But with this product, I just found out that I am, in fact, a curly hair girl.
Wow.
And, people are using, strainers and colanders. They put the product in their hair, and then they take I'm doing a hand gesture here, as if my long hair that I don't have is in a colander, and you are pumping your hair that's in the colander up and down to dry it.
Yeah.
That's just forcing your hair to be curly.
Well, the struggle is real.
It is.
Especially with the hair products. I tell you what, the hair product that I've been using for years has disappeared from the market.
Now that should be something to talk about. Those products that leave that you love.
So frustrating. So I spent maybe an hour of my precious shopping time over the last several weeks trying to find an alternative product. And I use a styling cream, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it just seems like everybody should have styling cream. But I can't find styling cream anywhere. And now it's all in these subcategories. It's curl cream.
Yes.
It's hair custard. It's these weird
Is
things.
there any styling cheesecake?
I would not put it past these hair product companies to come up with hair cheesecake. Because hair mask, I don't know what any of this stuff is because I'm a dude.
Well, because
but styling
you're
cream,
sane.
I understood, right?
Yeah, right.
Now it's do I get the custard or do I have to have that? Do I put that in after dinner? I don't know. So I've been trying these various products, and I think a lot of them are made for African heritage women, but they also do well because I've got kind of coarse hair.
Yeah.
So that some of them have been doing well for me. But
okay, so you know what? There you go. That's actually a helpful thing to learn.
Yeah.
You don't have to be African American.
No.
A person of color only to use these products.
Well, I don't want to be accused of cultural appropriation. I'm just trying to control this mop on my head.
Hey, anti-frizz is a thing. And if it makes you feel better, you don't have to wait until after dinner to use the custard cream because it's also National Eat Dessert First Month.
Well, there you go. Style your hair first.
Right? And if some of it drops onto your face, then you can just lick it off. That'd be gross.
Yeah, I don't think it's that type of custard.
Yeah, maybe not. Forget it. It's also August. Did you see that one?
Wait, is this like a pirate thing?
Yes, it's International Pirate Month.
Okay.
All those good jokes about being a pirate.
Avast ye mateys.
Right. There's so many good jokes.
Right. And it is Psoriasis Awareness Month, which I got to admit, maybe we need Psoriasis Awareness Month because I'm not exactly sure what psoriasis is.
Okay. It is, while you're looking that up.
I'll find out.
It's so funny that you say that because I decided that I was going to leave the list in completely unedited because I was like, you know what? I don't know what psoriasis is. And maybe by talking about it, let's go ahead and do the whole point of it. And so the fact that you picked that out, we're just tracking.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a chronic, long-lasting disease in which the immune system becomes overactive, causing skin cells to multiply too quickly. Patches of skin become scaly and inflamed, most often on the scalp, elbows, or knees, but other parts of the body can be affected as well. I knew it was some kind of skin thing.
I did too.
But I wasn't exactly sure. So now we know. And I am aware of you, psoriasis. I've got my eyes on you. Also, Romance Awareness Month. Can be tough when you're dealing with the psoriasis to be aware of romance, but you should be aware of romance.
And here's the thing. You need to love yourself, and maybe sometimes that's where the romance has to begin and end when you're having a psoriasis flare-up.
Maybe you meet somebody else with psoriasis, and you can share tips.
Hey.
Creams and lotions and potions.
On your Hinge profile.
There you go.
Like, hey, fellow psoriasis.
Are you as scaly as I am?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Did they discontinue your favorite product? Well, how about skin custard?
See, this is what people need to put on. Like, it makes me want to go onto these profiles, not so I can find somebody. I'm very happily married.
Yes.
But I really want to say the things that should be said that could probably help you narrow down your person, like very specifically. Because it's going to take a very specific person that thinks it's funny. Like when you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your psoriasis?
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, that's another thing. If you need us to help you with like your profile during this romance month, let us know.
Let's get unhinged on Hinge.
Yeah, 100%. We would love to help you. Okay. I don't think we would be that big of a help, but that's fine.
I'm just thinking of
with
what
Grumpy Gus and unhinged Stacy.
Yeah, when I was on a dating app for a short time, I had very little luck. So, you could only do better.
Well, that's because you didn't have
what I did.
You didn't have my help.
Well, that's true. I could have used your input when I was quoting song lyrics that nobody knew. And then
So I could have been like, what? Who's that? What depressing band is that that's obscure?
Took them seriously. Because there was a song by a band that I love called Pete and the Pirates. Albums didn't even come out here. So how would I expect anybody to know the reference? But there was a lyric, she dances like she's got a beat in her brain. She dances like she'll never again. And I misheard it as she dances like she has a bee in her brain. So I said I was looking for someone that dances like they have a bee in their brain. And
what, did nobody swipe for you?
How would that not appeal to anybody? I don't understand.
Honestly, though, like I feel like that's a lot of people out there.
I thought it was. I thought it was an apt metaphor for someone that could care less and would dance without a band-aid, with a
Or
band-aid.
panicked about the thing that's in their brain.
Right.
Like, get this thing out of here.
In this day and age, maybe they'd be a serious candidate for president, though. Who knows?
Oh, my God.
Yes. But yeah, that's the kind of cool, smooth
Whoa.
profile making that I was doing. And
It's
yeah,
that air custard.
that paid off so well.
Well, so if it doesn't work, good news. Today is International Cat Day.
Yes.
So you can get a cat.
And I heard that the Humane Society in Tacoma actually just took in one day 30 new cats.
What?
In addition to the stock they already had. So if you're looking for a cat, check out the Tacoma Humane Society. It actually might be called the Pierce County Humane Society, but it's in Tacoma because apparently they're overstocked.
Especially if you're childless and miserable.
Right.
Get a bunch of cats.
Yes.
You'll be all the rage if you follow the news.
I can't tell you, I was the happiest I ever been when I had cats. It was just me and the cats living together. So I think that stereotype is completely wrong.
So how's the romance going,
It was
Eric?
National Admit that you were happy month every month.
Wow. We may need to talk about this offline. Okay. I really hope your girlfriend doesn't listen to this show.
Oh, she doesn't. Don't worry.
She doesn't listen to me at all. It's
No.
also
I'm very happy with her. I didn't mean to imply
right.
that she was there for a good portion of living with the cats as
Okay.
well. So,
Okay. All right.
It's
So
all
she
good.
was part of your happiness.
Yes.
Perfect. Speaking of custard, it's also National Frozen Custard Day.
On the 8th. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a thing.
But whether that's National Frozen Hair Custard Day, I don't know.
I don't know. That's like great. I got to put if I had known, I would have put my hair custard in the freezer.
Right. And on the same day is Pickleball Day.
Have you started playing pickleball?
I haven't, but I see people constantly doing it.
And does that make you want to do it, or does that make you want to run?
It doesn't make me want to do it, but I do have a little bit of pride that pickleball was invented right here in Washington State.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I always think, hey, that's pretty cool. An international sport that was invented in our backyard.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Not very often.
Not very often at all. And plus, my understanding is that Pickle was their dog, the people that invented it. And so how many sports are named after people's dogs?
Yeah.
So Pickle the dog.
So cute. It looks like it's fun. And of course, it's depressing when my kids or other people are like, you should try it. Anybody can do it regardless of how athletic they are or how old they are. And I'm like, oh, so you're trying to tell me that I'm old and fat and slow.
Well, we all know that cheesecake is your trainer. So.
Well, it's true. So you can also play pickleball if cheesecake is your trainer.
Well, very, very true.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you could even get really into it and have some pickled juice after you play, or maybe even before.
I don't
you
think you're
play
supposed
pickleball.
to juice when you play sports.
Oh no, only when you're in the Olympics. But if you're doing the amateur circuit of pickleball, then some pickle juice before or after you play may be good. Have you heard that before? That it's like Gatorade essentially. It's full of
Really?
Yeah. Pickle juice is really good for athletes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do like fried pickles.
I mean, those probably won't hurt you, but it might not be the
The
same.
fried food is like slowing me down.
Right.
Okay. So weird.
Any
You are
other
so
days you
weird.
want to mention before we go to break?
Well,
because we are overdue.
Okay. Yes. There was something that I wanted to bring up. Well, No, there is National Duran Duran Appreciation Day.
All right. And
They're not even from this country. But I saw them in concert, and that was worth noting. And my outfit was really cute. And on that note, we can go to break. Keep listening to Don't Ask Me to Talk.
that's right. Stick with us, your podcast pals. We're talking terrible movies
Woohoo!
when we come back. This is Eric Ryder. If you like alternative rock, indie, post-punk, art rock, or whatever you want to call it, you may like the band Battersea. Our debut album, Shooting Day for Night, is out now, and you can find it at batterseatheband.bandcamp.com or most places you stream music, like Spotify, YouTube, etc. That's Battersea, BATTERSEA, theband.bandcamp.com.
Don't ask me to talk. We're back. Stacy and Eric, Siskel and Ebert. Hey, kind of this like same initials.
I miss Siskel and Ebert.
I
used to watch that show all the time when I was a kid.
right. I think it was on Sunday afternoons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was on various times in various different markets. But they had like 10 different shows leading up to them getting picked up by PBS, and then it just being Siskel and Ebert because it was like at the movies, on the aisle, all these different names. But yeah, I miss watching those guys. They were, simultaneously very dry, but also very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun when they disagreed because they were so mean to each other.
Yes.
It was like, woof, okay.
Yes, that was part of the appeal.
So here's what I thought. I thought we could share, is there a movie that you've ever flat out walked out of the movie?
No, I've never walked out of a movie. I feel like if I paid my money, I want to see this thing to the end.
I've only ever walked out of one movie. And I didn't pay for it because at the time Pete was working for Sony. And so I hadn't paid for the movie. But I walked out of it, and it was The Road to Wellville.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You didn't like that one?
I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. It was just like, it has a really strong cast with lots of famous people. But I was
True
like,
True
story. I was like, this is all kinds of ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe I was pregnant or something. maybe I needed some pickle juice.
Well, I know it. I mean, it's got a 5. I guess it's got a 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not extremely well reviewed. And it does have a fantastic cast: Anthony Hopkins, Matthew Broderick, Bridget Fonda, John Cusack, Dana Carvey, Lara Flynn Boyle. So yeah, this is a great cast and should have been a really great movie.
Right, should have been a slam dunk.
And it's about the Kellogg's. The Dr. Kellogg invented cornflakes essentially, and he had a sanitarium. And he was,
which was like an insanatorium based on this movie.
Yeah, he had some crazy ideas about health, but the one famous thing that came out of it was cornflakes, and his brother that he treated like crud, basically took the recipe, bought him out, took the recipe, and became like a trillionaire by coming up with Kellogg's, the cereal company.
Yep.
And then thereby launched, cereal as America's breakfast, essentially. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's great. But this had a whole thing. I guess there was something about his sanatorium that, like, helps with, like, sexual deviance or something. So there's just this whole angle. And I'm no prude. So this isn't, like, Caligula or something. Like, it was just weird. It was just weird.
Now, I've watched this movie, and at the time when it came out, I remember seeing the trailer and really wanting to go. but
It didn't match.
We didn't we didn't get a chance
The
to
trailer
go see that one.
didn't match the movie.
But yeah, it seemed like having watched this years later on streaming, and I did enjoy it, but I did feel like it was it couldn't really decide whether it was a comedy or whether it was a drama or whatever. It just kind of was trying to walk a line that I don't think it successfully walked. But that being said, I wouldn't have walked out on it. I would have just said, yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah. So that's that one. Then of course, if you type into your search bar worst movies ever,
Yeah.
you can get lists on lists on lists on lists. So then I thought it would be sort of interesting to see what's considered worst movies through time. And are they still the worst movies, or have times changed and tastes therefore have changed? Because when I was looking at one of the lists that there is, movies that came out in like 30s, 40s, 50s, some of them were some really interesting subjects that were widely panned. But one of them that I mentioned to you is Glenn or Glenda, or Glenn and Glenda.
Sure. Yeah, it's an Ed Wood movie.
An Ed Wood movie. And Ed Wood famously talked about taboo subjects.
Well, he did in Glenn or Glenda, for sure. I don't think his other movies really tackled the social issues. But, yeah, Ed Wood movies are famously bad. I mean, he directed Plan 9 from Outer Space.
That's on this list.
Yeah, which, of course, is one of the worst movies of all time because it's got... some terrible special effects. Bela Lugosi stars in it, but then he dies. So Ed Wood substitutes his dentist for Bela Lugosi,
and then he just covers his
face with a cape. Yeah, it is something to watch, just because it's extremely entertaining. And Glenn or Glenda is another one that is also entertaining. I mean, Ed Wood himself was a transvestite, and so the movie is kind of about a transvestite, and no judgment there whatsoever.
Right,
that's
not.
But the way that he tackles it is just very weird and ham-handed.
Right.
So, I mean, kudos to him for, living his best life. But as a filmmaker, he was not the greatest.
Yeah. No. Like, I mean, sort of bizarre.
But the thing is, looking at this list that you sent me of Wikipedia, that is list of films considered the worst, I got to say, I've seen a shocking amount of these movies.
Which, by the way, as a side note, sort of makes sense then that the quote for his profile, that says a lot. Anyway, go on.
Well, I'll say, because I'm a big fan of the TV show Mystery Science Theater 3000, which they riff on bad movies. And since that show was on and then went off the air, then some of the people from that show started another show called Riff Tracks, where they also mock these movies. And then some of the people did a show called Cinematic Titanic. And then they brought back Mystery Science Theater 3000. So they've done tons of episodes at this point. And so I've seen a lot of these with the riffing on top, which is, them just making fun of the movie and joking along as, the movie goes on.
Right.
And then I also listened to a podcast called How Did This Get Made, which is very funny, that exclusively talks about really bad movies. So I am familiar with a ton of these because of all those sources. Some of them I've actually went or rented and saw of my own accord. And so some of them are a little bit surprising to me, like Caligula, for instance. I don't think it's a bad movie. And in fact, I think it's actually getting re-released. I
think it was the porn.
Yeah, exactly.
The violence and the porn angle. Like, apparently, I haven't seen it. There's like 10 minutes of like...
It's a really interesting movie because what happened, it was partly financed by Bob Guccione of Penthouse.
Yep.
And so
He's
he
like,
was
I got this part, you guys.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
So essentially, you've got Malcolm McDowell and Helen Mirren and Peter O'Toole and John Gielgud, all these like top name actors,
Totally.
just acting their hearts out in this Shakespearean tragedy. Caligula, who was the insane Caesar,
Yep.
that watched Rome burn, essentially, and. And then
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yes, it'll just cut to like people having sex, and sometimes they try and weave it into the story, like instead of raising taxes, they have like a brothel open up, essentially. So it's fascinating, but if you've got no tolerance for essentially pornography that being spliced into it, then yeah, you're not going to enjoy this movie. But all that said, it's still a well-made movie. It's just like bizarre how it,
right,
fills out the time.
Well, and some of these bad movies have become cult classics.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Mommy Dearest.
Right.
Like no more wire hangers.
I didn't know that was considered a bad movie.
I was like, this is classic.
I
This
knew it
is
was campy, but yeah.
Right. Like this to me is like the cinematic equivalent of Flowers in the Attic, which, by the way, if you're of a certain age, you totally know what that book is. It's like young adult porn. And so Mommy Dearest is like, that's a classic to me.
Howard the Duck is another one that I watched just because I wanted to see it, and I gotta say I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know why it's considered all that bad. Maybe people just weren't ready to see a duck star in a movie.
But Jessica Rabbit did fine.
Yeah, I don't know. But Jessica Rabbit wasn't live action. She was animated.
This is true.
And Howard the Duck was a guy in a duck suit.
This is true.
So, I grew up reading comic books, loving comic books. So the fact that he was a comic book character made me really want to check it out. And I won't say it's a total success. And there are, in fact, a warning for people thinking this is a family film. You will see duck breasts in this movie. But it's a pretty entertaining movie.
Oh my gosh!
And then, of course, wanting to see a film because it was based on a comic book character. And now that seems crazy because like so many movies are comic book characters. But there was a time, there was like a 20-year span where there wasn't any comic book character movies because they just didn't do well. The special effects weren't there.
What? Super Mario Brothers?
That was a video game.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Okay.
But I'll tell you, another one that I was led down the wrong path by that idea was this movie called Spawn that came out in 1997. And it was one of the early CG heavy movies. And the CG just was not there back in 1997.
Yeah.
And so that was the one that I came the closest to walking out.
Okay.
It's just bad.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
now I'm tempted to go back and rewatch Spawn just to see if it's as bad as I remember it being.
It's an
and
hour
I'm
and a
sure
half
it was,
you may
yeah.
never get back.
Maybe I'll just watch some clips on YouTube. But there was that was a whole thing in the 90s where they're like, yeah, we can do anything with CG now. And the CG just wasn't there. So a lot of it looks really bad. Like if you ever see like clips from The Lawnmower Man, which was another like CG heavy movie from the 90s.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It is shockingly.
Is that on this list?
Shockingly bad.
I'm like, how is that not on this list?
Right.
But The Scarlet Letter with Demi Moore is on this list.
Oh,
and
okay.
Showgirls.
I'm aware of Showgirls. I don't think I'm aware of The Scarlet Letter.
It was a freely adapted version of Nathaniel Hawthorne's book, The Scarlet Letter.
I read the book. We were forced
all
to
had
read
to
that
read
in
the book.
school. Yeah.
And it was a lot. It was not good.
Yeah, Demi Moore as Hester Prynne is not a casting decision I think I would have made.
No,
But
I think she did G.I. Jane after that.
okay.
Because I think this is random. When did Princess Di die?
That would have been 97, I believe.
So I think she went on to G.I. Jane.
Okay.
So she went from being Hester Prynne to G.I. Jane.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, that was a big movie.
I haven't seen either of those movies, but I've seen clips from G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane, the only reason I remember that I saw it is because I came home from the movies to find out that that's when Lady Di had died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. There's one movie that I forgot about this movie until I was looking at the list. It's the one from 2001, and I don't even want to say what it is, but it's a Tom Green movie.
Oh, Freddy Got Fingered?
Oh, yeah, you said it. All right, great. I just am like, that's just a terrible, terrible name.
It absolutely is, yeah. And apparently a terrible movie.
Yeah. So, like, there's that. And
but I remember, like, Tom Green was huge.
Huge. He was married to
the late 90s.
Yeah, he was married to
very popular
Drew
on
Barrymore
MTV.
for a minute.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. When she was in her little Daisy stage.
And so he's a super success on MTV, and his humor didn't appeal to me, even though I was of the age that I was watching MTV quite a bit. But he didn't appeal to me in any stretch. So I was really surprised when he got a movie. But then he got a movie, and apparently it was just really bad, because I remember seeing the trailer for that and thinking, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then there's The Room, which we briefly touched upon. Yeah,
the Room is a really interesting one, because it's another one I saw because of riff tracks. And it is just an incredibly bad movie by this incredibly weird dude, Tommy Wiseau. And it's just very poorly made, and just like, have you seen it, by the way? Because
I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't.
I would recommend this, and especially if you can see it with like the riff tracks commentary on it, because it's very funny.
Okay.
But it is just a really bizarre thing where it's got a lot of stuff that makes no sense in it. Like, for instance, he is shooting. He's shooting a rooftop scene, and he shoots it on a rooftop, but he puts green screen all around the rooftop to basically Photoshop in the skyline.
But he would have had the skyline.
But he was, but I guess it would have been slightly different skyline that he wanted. And, there's like just a whole bunch of stuff in there that makes no sense. Like, they're dressed up in tuxedos for some reason in one scene, and they're like the guys are just playing football.
Okay.
It really makes no sense. And by the way, Tommy Wiseau, he stars in this movie, and he wrote and directed it.
Like, I think he famously was like, no, it was all a joke. But everybody that was in it was like,
Yeah, no, it's not a comedy by any stretch. But after people started coming and laughing at this thing, because he like somehow made a bunch of money overseas and then moved to the U.S. And so he had money to make this thing. And then when he tried to market it, he essentially just rented out a theater in Los Angeles and showed it for like a few months.
Yep.
And it's really weird.
Bizarre. Which then spurred The Disaster Artist.
Yes, a movie so bad that somebody else made a actually pretty decent movie about the making of that movie. And there's only a couple of those that I can think of, which The Room spawned The Disaster Artist.
And with the Franco brothers.
Yeah, and of course, there was the movie Ed Wood, which was about pretty much the making of Plan 9 from Outer Space, Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
And that's probably Tim Burton's best movie. So ironically, it's about like a guy who makes terrible movies, and yet like the best movie made by a guy who sometimes makes bad movies, sometimes makes good movies.
Well, and
happened.
Wasn't I think that the The Disaster Artist was nominated even for an Oscar. So, like, hey, future movie people out there,
right?
Like, look at the list of
Something
the
to
worst
mine.
movies and and mine it for material and make a movie about it. Chances are you could be
Right.
nominated for an Oscar.
So I will say, if you have that inkling, like I think a lot of us do, that something can be so bad that it's good, I would highly recommend seeking out Mystery Science Theater 3000 and Riff Tracks, because it makes those terrible movies go down so much better.
And remember that if you're looking for the .com, this is going to make a terrible movie. .com.
My life story.
Yes. Eric actually owns the rights to that, and he's willing to sell them for $1 million.
Right. I'm hip. I can dig it.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
What are we talking about next time?
Yeah, let's find out. Role model.
Huh. Re-roll it.
That's what I said in my head. But you're not supposed to say that because you put these on here.
I know. Re-roll it. I don't want to do that one.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Odd thing Googled.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Something odd that we've Googled.
Okay. Psoriasis. Should we pick again?
Sure. Pick again.
No. Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, pick again. That was a short episode, folks. You got a mini bonus episode. Uh-oh.
This would be an odd thing for people to Google, but circus job. What are you talking about? Is this a sex thing?
No,
Okay.
This is going to be good. This is the one that we're going to do. What job you would have if you were part of the circus.
Okay.
All right. So this is going to be good. See, it was worth it.
Yes.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, don't go home and ask for a circus show.
We'll see you next time.
Your podcast pals will be back with you. So have a wonderful week.
Bye.